All right, folks, welcome back. Moving right along in the Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month Summit. So we are moving into our 4 o'clock presentation. We are joined by G.V. Maldonado. She is a priestess in the Temple of Hecate here in New York State. So right on down the way, take it away, please, and thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Phoenix. So yes, thank you for joining us here at this wonderful Intimate Partner Violence Awareness Month virtual summit. This workshop is entitled Clearing the Road with Hecate, Forging a Path of Independence with the Sacred Maiden of the Crossroads. Again, my name is G.V. Maldonado. I am a priestess with the Temple of Hecate, Inc., the first temple dedicated to the goddess Hecate in New York State. Let's get it going. So we are here today, and it is my hope that you all will be able to recognize and validate the power of your own will and learn how to incorporate the goddess Hecate into your routine, if you so choose, for traveling independently. Some pieces on our agenda today is we are going to go over who is Hecate, the goddess of sorcery and witchcraft. We are going to kind of get some good definitions of, or at least some typical definitions of what is abuse and their warning signs. And I have 2 activities for us planned today. We're going to do a guided mental decluttering, as well as we are going to hopefully create some petitions for traveling the road. So if you need to, you may want to grab a piece of paper, a notebook, a scrap, a napkin. If you feel inclined to write something to declutter your mind, that might be something. I see you have something, Reverend Phoenix, thank you so much. And but if you don't, your own mind is fine, a cell phone is fine. If you want to come back and view this later, that is fine too. So a little bit about me. Again, my name is GVM, aka Agriope Ardue, and I am the temple bard and a priestess at the Temple of Hecate, the first temple dedicated to the goddess Hecate in New York State. I identify as a Boricua Bruja from the border of Brooklyn and Queens, and I am a storyteller. I am a teaching artist. I am a theatrical technician. I am a native New Yorker. I am a proud CUNY graduate, a professional puppeteer, and I specialize in oral histories, mythologies, folklore, and Dionysian theater traditions. I work with young people in 6 different after-school programs in the Brooklyn area. And that is why I am here today. So why we are all here today is because 2 out of 3 children are exposed to trauma and violence in their life. And 1 out of 4 women in the US experience violence by a partner in some point of her life. And I want to expand on that here, because this is not just about women. This is not only saying that women are only the victims, because I've grown up in a household where the women are the ones promoting violence and trauma in the house. So this is not just a women only, men only do this, women only do that. I'm going to do my best to speak in gender neutral terms, because everybody experiences violence. 1 out of 10 men experience violence, sexual assault, stalking in their life as well. So I just wanted to preference that. Okay, so what does that mean for us here? It means as spiritual people, as people who possess spirit, who are in tune with their spirit, whose spirit lives inside of them and outside of them, we possess the power and in some cases the responsibility to help ourselves and those in our inner and outer circles to secure a safe, comfortable, and nurturing living situation where us and ours can grow and thrive. Okay, so how do we do that? And so about myself and the Temple of Hecate, we are a temple that is creating a modern tradition that is based off of the Hellenistic traditions of the Mediterranean Sea. I am a Boricua Bruja, so I have strong connections to the Caribbean Sea and to the Mediterranean Sea and the ancestral worship and the powerful women who are the guides of those kind of religious practices. And so how do we take those ancient traditions and bring them into a modern time? And so with that, I want to talk a little bit about Hecate. And you'll see many different, for those of you who do not know about Hecate, I don't want to assume anything about anybody. So Hecate, you'll see spelled in many different ways. You'll see her spelled with a C, with a K, and in the Greek, it is Ekath. And so you'll hear me say Hecate with a Latin tongue. So for this cases, I will use the Latin spelling with a C, Hecate. And she's known as the Titan goddess of the crossroads, the entrance ways. She is proficient over herbology and particularly poisonous or baneful plants, the study of herbs, witchcraft in all its forms, ghost as a guide of the spirits to the underworld, necromancy, sorcery, and light as seen by her torches. Literary references to Hecate were first noted in Hesiod's Stenogony, which we have records of dating back to 700 BCE and persist into the post-Christian writings of the Chaldean oracles, the 2nd or 3rd century CE, Common Era, and further into the Greek magical papyri with the 5th century BCE, which is a great, wonderful kind of snapshot of mystical practices that were taking place in Alexandria at a time when many different religious practices were coming together. And she is regarded as the ruler of, or having rulership over earth, sea, and sky, as well as a more universal rule as a savior or sortiera, mother of angels, and the cosmic world soul. She is often depicted holding a pair of torches, which I think you can see in my little pointer screen right here. And she has often shown holding swords and keys, either in single or triplicate form. She has a pronounced role in the Homeric hymn to Demeter, where she hears of Persephone's abduction into the underworld and guides, or at least points Demeter to the sun titan Helios, who sees everything in that story. And in Hesiod's Stenogony, where she is promoted strongly as a great goddess, one of whom Zeus holds great honor over or of, and further into the works of Shakespeare and now modern storytelling and media. The origins of her following is uncertain, but it is thought that she had popular followings in Thrace and in the Asia Minor, in the ancient temples of Legina. We have found the oldest living temple that has sources of worship towards Hecate. Okay, and what does that mean for us here doing this work? So the name and entity known as Hecate has been called on for protection, uncrossing, safety in travel, success during transitions or entering new spaces, as well as repelling unwanted entities or energies from your living space. Hecate is also associated with the transition between death and life and death. Who's the baddest witch in town? Hecate. So clearing the road. Hecate is the goddess of the roadside. I call Hecate of the roadside, lovely god where three roads meet. And what makes a healthy relationship? We're talking a lot about abusive relationships, unhealthy relationships, healthy relationships. So I did lots and lots of research for this workshop, and I was pointed into some very, very strong, substantial work through the domestic violence hotline, and which is thehotline.org, and I'll give references to that later on. According to that, and according to like the CDC and the Homeland Security webpage, a healthy relationship means that you and your partner are both communicating, respectful of each other, trusting of each other, honest with each other, equal to each other. You enjoy personal time away from each other. You make mutual choices together, and economic and financial partners. Further down the scale, you may be in an unhealthy relationship if you and your partner are not communicating, disrespectful to each other, not trusting of each other, dishonest with each other, trying to take control over each other, only spending time together. You're pressured into activities that you really don't want to do, and you are unequal economically. And then further down into that horrible ladder is the abusive relationship. And if you are in a relationship where any of these things are happening, you might be in what is considered an abusive relationship. And that is communicating with each other in a hurtful and threatening way, mistreating each other, which mistreating is like, that is an individual thing, but you know if something is not right, and you know if you're feeling wrong. You're accusing each other of cheating or infidelity when you know it's not true. You're denying each other are abusive. Oh, that's not, no. You're controlling over each other, or you're isolating your partner from other people. So let's define some stuff a little bit more. And again, definitions change. I'm basing this off of what I researched from the domestic abuse hotline. And so domestic violence, also known as intimate partner violence, IPV, dating abuse and relationship abuse, is a pattern of behaviors used by one partner to maintain power and control over another partner in an intimate relationship. This can be done in many, many different ways: spiritual, financial, physical, mental, and domestic violence doesn't discriminate. People of any race, gender, age, sexuality, religion, education level, or economic status can be a victim. Rich, poor, black, white, woman, man, or anybody can be a victim or a perpetrator of domestic violence. And this includes behaviors that physically harm, intimidate, manipulate, or control a partner, otherwise force them to behave in ways that they don't want to, including through physical violence, threats, emotional abuse, or financial control. Multiple forms of abuse are usually present at the same time in abusive situations, and it is essential to understand how these behaviors interact so that you know what to look for. Both men and women experience intimate partner violence. It is a common form of violent behavior and is a major problem in the United States. Data from the National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey shows that 1 in 4 women and nearly 1 in 10 men have experienced unwanted sexual contact, physical violence, and or stalking by an intimate partner during their lifetime. Additionally, more than 43 million women and 38 million men experience psychological aggression by an intimate partner in their lifetime. Again, this could be anybody in any kind of relationship. Some common signs of abusive behavior in a partner include telling you that nothing that you do is right, showing extreme jealousy to your friends and time spent away from them, preventing or discouraging you from spending time with your friends, family members, or peers, insulting, demeaning, or shaming you, especially in front of other people, preventing you from making your own decisions, including about working or attending school, controlling finances in the household without discussion, including taking your money and refusing to provide money for necessary expenses, pressuring you to have sex or perform sexual acts that you are not comfortable with, pressuring you to take drugs or alcohol, intimidating you through threatening looks or actions, insulting your parenting, or threatening to take away or harm your children or pets, intimidating you with weapons, guns, knives, bats, or mace, or destroying your property and belongings in your home. If you are looking from the outside, these are some signs that you can see to identify relationship abuse in your friends and family. If you see that somebody's partner puts them down in front of other people, if they are constantly worried about making their partner angry, constantly walking on eggshells, if they make excuses for their partner's behavior, if their partner is extremely jealous or possessive, if they have unexplained marks or injuries, it's a big red flag. If they stop spending time with friends and family, or if they are depressed, anxious, or if you notice big changes in their personality. These are things that I have had to learn about when becoming a mandated reporter working in schools. These are a lot of the things that we see in children and then further along in adults. So now that we've kind of talked about all of that, I have my first activity for us. And so this is going to be a kind of guided mental decluttering. And for this action, we are going to practice the 4-7-8 breath, which is breathing in through your nose for 4 beats, holding for 7, and releasing for 8. And this is clinically proven to calm anxiety. And so what I would like for anybody participating to please release all the breath that you're holding at the present moment with an SH sound in 3, 2, 1. And when you are empty, take that 4 deep breath in. Hold for 7. And release. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Last time, breathe in. Hold. Let it out and once you have released, you should be in an empty, clear space. Let your eyes flutter and find that darkness within your own mind. Let it envelop you and continue to breathe at your own pace. And as you retreat into your mind, begin to establish your mental space. This is your mental living space. Within this space, you will have your hopes, your dreams, your accomplishments, your memories, all of the things that have made you, all of the things that you hold within you. They will appear as mementos, as pictures, as boxes. And I want you to take note of your space. How large is it? How small is it? Are you in a big room? Are you in a cavern? And what fills your space? Is it cluttered? Is it sparse? Are they things that you want to touch? Are they things that you want to be away from? What is brought in by you? What did you bring into the situation? And what was brought in by others? What are the things that you are shouldering, that people have brought to you, that you are holding on to? Take inventory of the things you want to be rid of, because in order to help other people, we must help ourselves. In order to help someone, you have to know what it is that you are giving them. What are they holding on to that you have brought into their space, and what have they brought into yours? Breathe in and hold. Release. Catalog these things. I imagine boxes of clutter filling the room, suffocating me, leaving me only one way, one path to one place. It is a place I don't want to go. It's a place that I'm uncomfortable with, and I want to clear these things away from me. I have to identify these things. This is where we take our piece of paper. This is where we take our pen. And this is where we write. I will be rid of ill-gotten gains. I will be rid of ill-gotten gains. I will be rid of the things that you want to be rid of. I will be rid of expectation. I will be rid of hurt. I will be rid of reliance. I will be rid of fear. I will be rid of shackles. I will be rid of these things. And once you have cataloged these things, once you have given them name and written them down and said them out loud, you may release with an SH sound and clear these things from your mind with the gale force wind from the east and throw these things out with the power of your will from the south and wash away your space with the waters of the west. Clear the space with the bounty of the north. Do this for however long it takes. It will take longer than a minute. It will take longer than the time we have here. This is your activity. Come back to it when you need to. I will be rid of these ill-gotten gains. I will be rid of this, that, and the third. By these things I do command. So mote it be. Blessed be. Amen and amen. I'd like to move on to recognizing and validating the power of our own will. And I want to bring to note a great quote an associate Hugo of mine shared with me by a magician named Eliphas Levi from the book, The Great Secret. And the quote goes, "The great secret of magic, the unique and incommunicable arcana, has for its purpose the placing of supernatural power at the service of the human will in some way. To attain such achievement, it is necessary to know what has to be done, to will what is required, to dare what must be attempted, and to keep silent with discernment." In our tradition of the Temple of Hecate, we hold these four things as pillars. Each the pillars of our elements. To know in the East, and for the purposes of this workshop, to know is recognizing the signs of abuse. To will in the South with fire is to catalog what is required to secure yourself. To dare in the West, the water, is to create a safety plan. Water, safety, beautiful. And in the North, to keep silent, preparing to embark with stealth and secure and in a secure safety circle. So what do these two things, daring and keep silent, to create a safety plan, what is that? I had to look that up. So A safety plan is a personalized, practical plan to improve your safety while experiencing abuse, preparing to leave an abusive situation, or after you leave. A safety plan is tailored to your unique situation and will help you prepare for and respond to different scenarios, including telling your friends and family about your situation, coping with emotions, and various resources suited to your individual circumstances. Some of the preparations in a safety plan might seem obvious, but it can be really hard to think clearly and make logical decisions during moments of crisis. Having a safety plan laid out in advance can help you protect yourself and others in high stress situations. And so I want to share a couple of links that I've discovered here, and I'm going to activate them. So you'll see a danger assessment. Am I in danger? How do I know I'm in danger? I'm gonna click this button right here, and it's gonna take us. Can you guys see the screen right here? Okay, thank you very much. So this is dangerassessment.org, and it was created by Dr. Jacqueline Campbell, and it is a kind of checkbox of situations, and it kind of determines like yes or no. I need this quantified. I don't know if I'm in a safety situation, if I'm in a dangerous situation. So some of these things are, and this uses gender terms, which I don't really agree with. So I'm just going to kind of use gender neutral terms. But has physical violence increased in frequency in the past year? Does this person own a gun? Have you left them during the past year? Are they employed? Have they ever used a weapon against you? Have they threatened to kill you? Have they avoided arrest for domestic violence? Do you have a child with this person? Has this person ever forced you to have sex with you when you didn't want to? Has this person choked or strangled to cut off your breathing in a non-consensual way? Does this person use illegal drugs? And so on and so forth. I will link these. Actually, I can link this and drop it into the chat. And if anybody watching would like to get these links and resources, I will share them with Reverend Phoenix. And if you want to, you can please email me at the Temple of Hecate Inc. at gmail.com. And I'd be very happy to send these resources to you. Let me drop that link in the chat. The next reference I want to share with you is the hotlines, the domestic violence hotline safety plan. And as you know, people can check your if you're worried about browser security. This website is really wonderful. That if you notice you're not in a safe place to be looking at this thing, that kind of X's you out, and they're very smart about this. But this is the guide to interactive safety planning, and I had to kind of begin the process in order to give the information to you. I'm dropping this link as well in the chat. And I'm going to go back to my presentation where we can view some of these things. So, so some of the items in the interactive safety plan given by the hotline are to create a word or phrase that you can use in a code, as a code in a phone call, a text, to ask friends or family or neighbors to call for help without your partner knowing. It could be something as simple as, can you get me a sandwich? Or I need espresso, which I do. During times when you are alone, who can stay with you if you don't want to be alone? Write this, if you know who it is that you can call, and you can't have that around your phone, or say somebody's like taking your phone away from you or looking through your phone, you can write that number on a piece of paper, keep it in your wallet, keep it in your bra, keep it in your underwear, wherever you got to keep it, so that you can reach out to this person. If you don't have a cell phone, if you're having to use a quarter to call, it's important that if your partner has ever threatened to take or break your phone, which has happened, if you're not comfortable being at home, where else could you go to stay safe? And I know that this is like, oh, I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help you so much. Are you willing to let somebody into your home? Are you? Be ready. Put your money where your mouth is. Walk your talk. If you are about this life to help other people, you have to be about this life to help other people. At least know who it is that you are ready to open your home to in these times. Where am I? I need tea. If you're not comfortable being at home, where else could you stay? If you need to leave your home in an emergency, what is a safe public place that you can go? This could be a police station or a store, a neighborhood store, a McDonald's, anywhere that's open and has public people around. Moving on. If you need to leave your home quickly, what items should you take with you? Take your identification, driver's license, school ID, military ID. Your immigration documents are incredibly important to have with you in a safe, secure place, ready to go. I know that we have had great workshops on enchanting your go bag, your ready to leave bag. I know that there was a really great one on, I think we just finished Getting Up, and we just finished, and yesterday's was was also like how to enchant your go bag. Have your cell phone, a charger, any medication that you take, cash money, an ATM card, your house keys, your car keys, a change of clothes, comfort items, a photograph, the things that you would miss, baby supplies if you need any, or child supplies, a copy of a protection or restraining order, any birth certificates from your children to yourself, a health insurance card if you have, or any other personal things, and you know what is important to you. This could also be any of the items that you can view on the CDC website for a go bag. And if you have a protection order against your partner, you want to have that with you. Oh man. All right, so now let me get back to talking about my lady Hecate. So in my tradition, or in our tradition, we use epitaphs, and epitaphs are also known as, it could also, in Christianity, we see them as God of heaven, Alpha and Omega, you know, all the ways that we kind of refer to these are gods and what they hold over. And so I just want to review a few of Hecate's epitaphs, and these are kind of, and I'm trying to bring this into like a layman's term, also known as ways that we can kind of like, they're your middle names, they're ones that kind of make you know more about them and in that facet. So one that is really wonderful with Hecate is savior in the Greek, and these are Greek words. So, and I don't speak Greek, so excuse my tongue. So we have sotiera as savior, Hecate sotiera, Hecate kleidochkos, which is the key bearer, Hecate korotrophos, which is the nurturer of children, Hecate trivia, of the three ways, which way do I go? Hecate anasa ironi, the queen of the dead. Hecate apotropaios, the averter of evil. Hecate brimo, angry one. Hecate chthonian, of the earth. Hecate inalian, of the sea. Hecate inodia, of the path. Hecate Karia, the supreme and powerful one. Hecate Lampadios, torchbearer. Hecate Nycteria, of the night. Hecate Orania, the celestial and heavenly. Hecate Phosphoros, the light bearer. Hecate Propalia, the one before the gate, and Hecate Trioditis, of the three roads. I mention these because we have an activity. I love activities. I'm not a talking head. I like to interact. And so, excuse me, I have to take a lozenge. Okay. So, talking about petition writing, spell crafting, what is that? It can be seen as a prayer. And a petition is something that you write to convince someone or something of something, or to explain your point. That's what a political petition is. And a spiritual petition is a writing of what you want to have an entity listen to. A big part of spell casting or spiritual petition is holding the intent in one's mind. A rhyming incantation can make it easier to focus on the content of the incantation. Not to mention, it would make the incantation easier to remember. Furthermore, a rhyme can sometimes be used synonymously as a shorthand term for any brief poem, such as a rhyming couplet or a nursery rhyme. A famous quote of a rhyme or couplet comes from the great English poet Shakespeare, from the Scottish play Macbeth, which we have example of Hecate being the queen of riches in that play. And it is the famous line of double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. That is an example of a couplet used to kind of set the tone. So for this activity, petition for traveling independently. Hecate is the guardian of the crossroads and sees in all directions. In some cases, it is seen as her ability to perceive the past, the present, and the future, a gift from her mother, the star goddess Astarte, who possessed the gift of prophecy. If you wish to participate, you could create a petition to Hecate using 4 to 12 lines to assist you in a chosen mission to work your will for the betterment of yourself or others. You may use any and all epithets you are aware of to assist in your working. I have an example that I created. It's kind of very basic witch. Look 3 ways, see through the haze. I live and walk in grace with thee. Enodian Hecate, apotropios propylia. Enodian of the way. Apotropos, averter of evil. Propylia is one before the gate. The one before the gate. So if you wish to create a petition to Hecate for yourself for traveling against in the road, this is kind of an easy way to do it. You don't need a lot. It could also just be very, very honest and true. We don't need to always come in these reverent, flowery language. Not everybody's expecting you to be Shakespeare. Your spiritual petition is an honest thing. It could really just be like, Lord, God, Goddess, my ancestors, great-grandma, mama, help me. I need to get through this path. I need to come through and hold my children, hold us up. Fill us with your roses and beautiful, clean scent. And secure and fill us with the roses of your bloom and the thorns. May they keep away all that try to harm our love. Cover us in bushels of beautiful, sweet roses that are yours. And that could be a beautiful prayer to your ancestors. And that as Hecate is a guardian and a which is we call a psychopomp, a guide for the restless dead or the dead. She is the messenger as well. Okay, so that is the long and the short of it. And so I want to kind of open it up to any of our participants for any discoveries, kind of talk and chat about what we've kind of talked about, if this rings true, if anybody needs any clarification. Again, this is terribly uncomfortable. This may be terribly uncomfortable if you are new to creating these kind of petitions, but we are spiritual people inherently, all of us, everywhere. And I think that in this time of human evolution, we are connecting further and further into our spirit. And it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters where you're going. And we can all get there together. Ooh, okay. First, I'm going to stop. I'm going to let us talk. I'm going to open the floor if anybody wants to say anything, and then we'll watch a little video. Okay? So I'm going to put myself on mute, and then you guys are going to put yourself off mute.
Okay, well, I guess I can speak up. My name is Quincy. I am friends of Gladys. Um, so one thing that I recognize that's important in your realizing abuse and realizing where you are and how to move forward is time, and how important time is to stop and understand what's happening around you. Time to feel it and to know it and to be aware of it, and time to grow and move on and forgive and heal, and then just allowing time to push you forward in your journey. And um looking back at my own, I always tell people in heartbreak and in tough situations, just give yourself time. Stop it around you if you need to, and just give yourself the time to embrace it all, and the good and the bad, and to move on.
Thank you, Quincy. I really appreciate your words here. Um, it all, yes, it has to do with time. Everybody has to process things on their own. You can lead a horse to water. You cannot force them to drink. Um, the best thing as an outsider looking in and reaching in, is to, one, just have that hand out, ready for that person to grab when they're ready. And as much as I have learned in my time that just as that person needs time to process what they're going through, you need to have the patience of time to not only reach out one time. Oh, I reached out, they didn't want it, so then I'm gonna keep it moving. It's a constant process of reaching out. It's when you say I am here, it's not only I am here today, but not tomorrow. It is I am here for you every day. I'm gonna cry. Thank you. Would anybody else like to comment on any discoveries or ask for any clarification?
So I didn't have anything for clarification, but I started to think about maybe for a future collaboration, is the use of any of Hecate's torches to help illuminate or identify warning signs before we even get to this stage. And I was wondering if you've ever had a thought about that, or if I'm like off the mark as far as how that magic would work.
So yes, I know that this is something that we've been talking about at the Temple of Hecate for a while, and I know that our High Priestess Lori Bizzaro can speak more about this, but Hecate's torches of severity and compassion. Um, I always, I lead with compassion, or at least I try to. I'm a human being, and sometimes I fail, but always the torches of compassion, and again, the torch of severity. If something ill is occurring, something with malice, you must have, I feel, to have a severe response. I'm ready. Personally, I'm ready to throw down and fight for any of my people. And if and I see Lori is on the call. I don't know if she's available to speak, but I would love to chime in on her to speak a little bit about Hecate's torches of severity and compassion, if you will, if she's available. I don't, let me know if anything, you can always reach out to us at the Temple of Hecate Inc. On Facebook and at hecate.nyc, and we'd love to collaborate with you a little bit more about this. But yes, understanding the warning signs, ones that we had already went through, and illuminating. I think it has just to do with speaking it, to say it. It can seem like it is it can seem like these things are kind of, I need to get the Sanders sister away from me. She's just distracting me. And so it can seem like these are easy things to know, but you have to say them over and over again. This is what an unhealthy relationship is. And an unhealthy relationship does not necessarily mean an abusive relationship, but these are the warning signs. And again, these things are not only gendered. I come from a situation where women are the ones who are financially controlling the relationship and constantly putting people down. And these don't help. These are severe things, and you have to act with compassion and severity to stop. And I finished doing privately within our group, I finished doing a Hecate workshop on just kind of illuminating what LGBTQIA meant, as Hecate is a guardian of the people on the outskirts of society and marginalized people. And then we were doing defensive magic for them. And in that, we were talking about, oh gosh, what were we talking about? Severity, talking about the torches. I'm losing my thought. The acetaminophen is hitting me. What was the question again? I'm sorry, I flipped.
So no, I was just talking about the use of her torches to illuminate warning signs and the beginning of relationships. You basically answered the question a few different ways.
Did I answer it? Okay, good. I'm sorry. Sometimes I go roundabout. She knows. Quinn knows. All right. At that note, okay, we're at the perfect time, so I can show us a little quick video I found. If you are ever in a situation where you have to physically defend yourself, not with words, not with spirit, but with your body, I found this great little video, and I'd like to show it. I hope the audio is okay. Hold on, the ad's gonna stop. How's the audio? No audio?
These are some simple defense moves for common assault for women. The main thing to remember is to be aware of your surrounding, always. Always use your core so you're not flailing around with your upper body. Also, when you have someone behind you, strike the groin first. Grabbing the face is really good. You just hold on to the face. Boom, you just grab on and push it back. When someone point a gun at you, run. If you can run, you run. You run zigzag and you scream. The myth that if women fight back, the guy's going to get angrier and the woman's going to get hurt. That's only true if you hit him a few times and look, and he's going to come at you differently. So the first hit you throw, you need to be fully committed and become the aggressor. Sometimes you're simply overpowered. When you're overpowered, just relax for a second. And fake compliance is key. Say, okay, I'll do whatever you want. Please don't hurt me. Get him to relax first. And then you fight whenever there's an opportunity. Women of any size can do this, as long as you know what to do and you know how to use language.
Great, that was from shielddefense.com on YouTube. You can subscribe to their videos. I found them very, very helpful. I believe everybody should be taking self-defense classes, no matter who you are or where you are. Stop. All right, reflection time. What do you feel? What was challenging? What did you enjoy? Anybody can speak. Happy, happy. Or you can just enjoy the gift from Sabrina. And so I know that when I'm doing meditations and leading meditations, it's hard to be in the meditation and lead it at the same time. So if you feel like that guided decluttering was something that you want to try again, you can go back and just take your time with it. And this is not something that's going to happen in 5 minutes. These spell petition writings are not something that you're going to do beautifully and articulately at first. What matters is sincerity. I think that when doing spiritual work, sincerity is the number one thing, because if you're approaching it from any other point from other than sincerity, then it all just becomes muddied. And I hope that this was enjoyable. I hope that this was informative, and I thank you. And I wish everybody the absolute best. Thank you. If you want to learn more, we have the hotline.org. If you want to learn more about Hecate and her epithets, I really enjoy the website hellenicgods.org, because they give you the Greek definitions. And I also linked in the chat the dangerassessment.org and the CDC website for violence prevention. And they have a really great PDF for intimate partner violence. This one right here. It's a really great teaching tool here. It was made in 2015, so it's a little older now, but I still think it's a good resource. And again, Blue Door events, wonderful workshops. And I know that they're going to be doing a World AIDS Day event very soon. So please keep an eye out for that. A little more about the Temple of Hecate, Inc. Our website is hecate.nyc. We have a temple blog and a Facebook page, facebook.com/Temple of Hecate, Inc. This is my wonderful High Priestess Lori Bizarro and me at the Temple of Ma'at in the Metropolitan Museum. We did a wonderful pop-up ritual in March 2019, and hopefully we'll be doing more pop-up rituals very shortly. That's it. Woo, 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 woo. Burr, burr, burr. So,
Thank you so much. You nailed it. That was wonderfully perfect.
my
Yes,
heart is
awesome.
racing. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you being here. Thank you,